Well, happy or blessed Lent. I call it happy. I always just get whatever. I had a candle that I light. It's a beautiful blue glass candle. I have a red one that I light for Jesus, and then I have a blue one that I light to really commemorate my greatest female mentor of all time and life, and that is Mary, Theotokas, the Mother of God. When I've had people in various churches I've been in, not just parishes, the parishes aren't a problem. It was back when I was Protestant and would be in various denominations. Even men would say, well, how can you tolerate, that we're, that you don't get equal vote or different things and things, depending on the church I was in. And I would remind them that and as well also the religious sisters in this convent that went defunct, who wanted to be priests. They wanted more power and position and prestige. And I would say, and they say, doesn't this bother you? I said, no. The Mother of God, who has more grace and power and peace and all these virtues. That was Lovey's head right there. Then the Virgin Mary. And what a wonderful mentor of women and men. A great mentor of mother, of a wife, of woman in general, of humanity. So I got my wick had burned too long, and I made my ashes this year, my Virgin Mary ashes on my forehead, in commemoration of her standing beneath the cross of her Son as he died, and followed along on the way of the cross. So it's Ash Wednesday, and I hope you all, somebody had written to me, somebody that I know who's had some anger at the Catholic Church from someone she married, and she thought it was very odd that people were they had drive-up stations for ashes. And I wrote back and I said, that started during COVID as a means of letting people have ashes on their forehead to commemorate and begin our Lenten period, Ash Wednesday today. There's now online worship services and masses, and it's wonderful. That's another thing if you're working from home, working remote or at home because of disability or different obligations, responsibilities to elderly parents or to someone with Alzheimer's, or doing quiet work in other people's homes, cleaning or whatever. You can get those earbud things, I think they're called that, and worship in that way. Listen to preachers and different sermons, and so we have all kinds of means of celebrating God and learning Bible studies online or on the radio. So happy Ash Wednesday, the beginning of Lent. I used to sort of pray and think about, what am I supposed to offer during Lent or learn during Lent or sacrifice? And years ago, I gave that up as far as figuring it out. I realized every Lent, I might have some idea, but God determined for me what he wanted. He knows what I need to learn, how I need to grow, what I need to be learning and praying about, any kind of austerities that God will let me know what they are. And every Lent has been filled with the unexpecteds of what God has chosen for me and for other people in our Lenten journey, preparing our souls in praise, in penance, in prayer, in love of others, love of God, love of Scripture, His living Word. So it will be an exciting Lent. And it was, I think, back in 2012 in Lent. The first Friday of Lent, I recall, was when I had the neck injury. And so we just never know. And I was laid up for 7 weeks of Lent that year. Long time. Even was still recovering, I think, after Easter. So wait and see what God has for you. It's our intention. And that's another thing I realized the other day. When I get to this point where I just want out of the temporal, don't want the responsibilities. I don't want to have to do my taxes again, figure all that out. I don't want to have to deal with my house and my handyman or anything, deal with stuff. My truck needs some kind of a light or battery kind of a thing. Not a big battery, but something for my dashboard. And I just don't want to do that. And then I realized this is exactly what God has me doing. God exactly wants me to be doing things in the temporal to force me up, to keep me busy, to contribute to the world, to the temporal world, to be a responsible human being, to tend the dogs, to take care of the yard. They're called billy bugs, I think they're called, and I'll have to buy this special stuff it's a granule that I'll put on the grass areas that these billy bugs were eating, or I think they're called that, not roly-polies, or a different kind of bug that were eating the grass, just destroying my yard. Last fall or summer, when I could barely walk because of my knee replacement failure. So, and I did spray some stuff, but I have to do this granule stuff again in the spring, and so there's things to do, and it's good for us to have temporal things to do. And I was thinking of it again this morning when I had the dogs out, that without temporal balance and duties and manual labor, think of Isidore the farmer, who would be deep in recollection with God while he was farming his fields way back in the Middle Ages. And he became very holy, doing his manual labor. God is with us. We are in God. It's the intention, it's our faith, it's the reality that we are in God's love and He is in us. So we don't have to worry so much about how we're going to be recollected during the day when our minds are to be on other things, obligations. God is pleased with us. He knows we want Him in us, and we are in Him. So, and it's good for our balance to have these temporal obligations. Lovey wants to go out. He's become very spoiled. Lovey, you stop the barking. You stop the barking. You're not going to get 100% attention from me. But I will take him out. It's about time for his morning nap, late morning nap, into the afternoon. God bless His real presence in us, and keep us on this, Lord, keep us on this balanced combination of temporal and spiritual. It's what God created for us and has for us today, right now, in this moment. We'll talk to you later, and a beautiful Ash Wednesday and happy Valentine's Day.